Okay, get me the bullets of the spotless hammer. What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it just this hammer? 3, maybe just this hammer 4. Well, whatever it was. There's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance? No! Oh. Really? Ah, sometimes it's hard to figure out which one is the one I have to contradict. It's contradiction, so I can't just tell what was used. Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info. Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers. No. Okay, there it is. I should really let this play once completely and then loop and then try and solve it. The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different. But seriously, a different weapon. Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. Huh? And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers, big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design. If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar. So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used the hammer to kill him. And whoever did that is the true killer, the one Hifumi was working with, and the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment, I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... okay, so what's our argument now? Wristwatch, tarp and hammer. We use those, so it's probably something else. Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this. Okay, I think we have to break impossible. That is how the rule was explained to us. But that only really happens if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders. Okay, this seems simple, I think. None of this. There are two murders, so there are two people that murdered them. Oh, I shot the wrong thing. Yeah, I used the wrong button. Come on, give me the thing. I don't have enough time, I have to shoot the purple text. I have to get rid of the white noise! There we go, two murders. I mean, two murders, two people, right? Objection. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved. What do you mean? If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit. Risk versus reward benefit? The payoff for working together, the reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible. You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders? I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on. So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all. The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning. That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel? You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like it's almost unnatural how good she is at this. I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings? That's problem numero uno right now. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and, in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Can I finally accuse Celeste? Hell yeah. You're going down. It was Celeste. Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke. A joke? I wonder. So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him. That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot. Pardonnez-moi. Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it. Is that so? It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together. What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? This is encountering the suspicious individual. The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi. Shush! The adults are talking now. Sorry. As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was the one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well. Are you saying everything they told us was a lie? After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor. She let out a blood-curdling scream. And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work. Yeah. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is Baz. Come on, we have to go back. It was to get us to divide into two groups so that we would discover both bodies at the same time. In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well, then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya and Sakura. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that piercing cry of yours early on. Ha! That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea? I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead. I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered. Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds. I don't believe it. The whole thing was one big act. Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right? Yeah, I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait, then that was... She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office. Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste? I have no idea what you mean. Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake. Oh, did I? I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing. What are you talking about? I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared, when we returned to the nurse's office. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died. I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it. And pay attention, Sakura, Toko and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. No, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it, Celeste's comment doesn't make sense, it was completely out of place. Yeah, I see what you're talking about, although I don't really get what it means. You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right? Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Well, she didn't know Taka was dead, but mentioned that we were going to die like those guys died. I think that's it. Or maybe it's they are having their fun. We have the handbook, the file and Celeste's account. I don't think any of this matters. All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die just like those guys died. And that is all I said. And that's all it takes to finish this, it's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comments? Do I use this? No. Okay, I didn't think so, but it was worth a shot. I think that is the bullet. You said that those guys died. You only knew Hifumi died. What's so strange about Celeste's comments? Oh, there's nothing else. Okay, so... do I need to use this somewhere? They must really be enjoying this, enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We are all going to die here. I don't think this matters. Maybe that's not the bullet. Maybe it's so strange. And use it to refute those guys. That's so strange. That's the strange thing. This is it. Oh yeah, got it. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead. Exactly, and we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself. So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too. You all have such vivid imaginations, you know that? Imaginations! You claimed that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? Hifumi was carrying him. How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away? It has to be some kind of setup, right? Celeste put the suit on and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture. Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist? Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away? What could you possibly mean by that? Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up. No, there is no other explanation. other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away. Oh, got you now! That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even further. If you saw someone wearing someone like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious. That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this. Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away, ridiculous. Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all. Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Okay, let's prove it. What do we have? The costume, Yasuhiro's message, the blueprints. I'm not sure about this. You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry me. Man, sometimes I can't read this. You tried to make me look like the bad guy. Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. Oh, blueprints. Costume. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that. You can't bend in the costume. No, even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic. You totally can't bend at the waist, seems like a pretty obvious oversight. That's right, they totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist. I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was. Oh, you seem rattled now, Celeste. Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame. Well then, I suppose this is checkmate. Checkmate? Is she gonna snap now? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? Hey Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro. When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure. But what if Celeste isn't your real name? Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro. Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated. He did say Yasuhiro, but Are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro? What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive. Kyoko, what do you mean by that? Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us? He said people's last names. That's right, our last names. He called us all by our last names. Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once for example. So if Hifumi did meant to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure. I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance he just his first name. Indecent. Don't talk. Random chance. Now, isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more. So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him? But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here. Well, no, hold on, there's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is. What did you just say, you little bastards? To think you'd take your false accusation so far. I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on, enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge. Okay then, fill us in. What's your real name? Fine, make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up. My real name is Celestia Lundenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again? Celeste still won't give up, so then let's check her handbook. I have to do something to make her accept it. Bullet time Basil? No arguments. Do I have... Aha, e-handbook. Let's load that up. Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro. If there's one person here who might have that last name, it would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is. How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Lundenberg. I can't read that. How long do you plan to go on pretending? I'm not pretending, it's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me, I do. Show me your handbook. That's it! The handbook. What? Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that. So all we have to do is check her handbook and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name. That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate. Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please just tell us. Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because... Until the game's over, you never know what might happen. Fine then, let me settle it. Let me go over the case again from the beginning and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end. Okay, comic book time. Climax inference. Okay, Celeste meets Hifumi. In this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? What could it be? Okay, time, no. Oh, the unused ones from other cases are still here. That's gotta make things awkward. Is this the only one that makes sense? Or this one? No, this is Hifumi moving the body. So it's probably this one. They meet face to face. What time did the killers call their victim to the rec room? 1 AM. Then they're here, then they approach from behind. What's this? Who was it that the killers summoned first? I mean, Hero is right on this panel right here. Why do I need to put Hero here again? Okay, they knock him down, put him in the robot costume. Then they set up to take the picture. Then they get Taka at 6. Smack him. Oh wait, maybe that's not... This is... No, this is not 6, that's 7. Wait, is this 7? Yeah, that's 7. I mean, it's a little past 6. But the hand wouldn't be on 7. But that's the only time I have. What time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? It's the only watch I got. I'm seeing this right? Right? It's, should be about 7 past 7? I'm not insane, right? I'm not just an idiot. The Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? This was number 4. Then Celeste shows us the picture of Hifumi and all that, and Hifumi says he was attacked. In the library, Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Justice Hammer 2. Nurse's office, then Hifumi, or maybe the Bloods. Hold on a second. No, maybe it was the Hammer 2. If Hifumi didn't hit his head to make bloods, we took care of his wound, right? So there must have been a wound. I mean, this is the same. He used the bloods. Which Justice Hammer was in the nurse's office when Hifumi was pretending to be dead? Justice Hammer 3. Then we find him dead, then we find Taka, then Hifumi goes all the way and moves the body. Then he meets Celeste, then she kills him with the hammer. The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi, what was it? Hammer. I think this should be it, unless I got the Justice Hammer 2 wrong. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder, and that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect, so when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 AM... Oh wait! I am an idiot! I was looking at the bottom... I wasn't looking at the watch positioning. Yep, I am an idiot. I thought I was looking at the watch like it was in a straight wrist. But the wrist is slightly, well, the arm is slightly bent, so yeah, that's 6. It's perfect. Never mind, never mind. My bad, my bad. And then finally at 6 AM, they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. Okay, let's see if this one is right. So next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that, but... Oh, it is right. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. No, I didn't play my reasoning right. I need to... What? The weapon the killer used to murder Hifumi. What was it? Wasn't it this mallet? Oh, it's the bloody mallet. Oh, come on. There's... Well, I guess the mallet is bloodied after Hifumi was whacked with it. Damn it, I failed the last one. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case, and the villain behind it all is. It is you, Celeste. Celeste, sorry you lose. I lost. I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck. Then you admit it? You're the killer? Listen to you trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. Celestia Lundenberg, actually, no. Taeko Yasuhiro is fine. Taeko? So, you finally accepted it. I'm the kind of person, once I lost, I don't like things to drag on. Interesting. Oh, what's the result? I don't think I did that great. We lost once. Still got an A rank. Still got a bunch of coins. Okay, Monokuma, I'm ready to begin. And even though I figured this thing all out from the very beginning, it's kinda hard to actually justify it with the things they give us. Well, it's not hard, but sometimes I just don't really know exactly what the trigger is, the thing I need to shoot. Okay, Monokuma, I'm ready to begin. What's the punishment this time? Or no? I suppose this is the end, isn't it? It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay, okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your votes. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice, or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? So I assume the traitor is still alive, because there was no mention of that. And I think if someone is the traitor, we will know that person is the traitor. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg, or more precisely, Taeko Yasuhiro. I lost, well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations. So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree. Then did you use, you know? I knew you'd figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right to get... Oh, you stole Alter Ego. You're absolutely right to get Hifumi to act as my accomplice. I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean? Is she talking about Alter Ego? What? What are you talking about? I mean, we mentioned Alter Ego before, in this very trial. No one batted an eye. Don't interrupt, we're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual, how sad. Then you're the one that stole it. That's right. And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. Oh, what are you doing here? I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it. What? It was Taka. He stole it. What? And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As I turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course. So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it. What? Please forgive me, he threatened me. He did? He came to my room last night and announced, and then, it's hard for me to even say. He abused me. What? And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. That's a crime. An absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him. Wait, please, if you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh? Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target. Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you. What? And also he can keep her to himself. That bastards. Bastards. Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not, how could I? She... I have to save her. Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even if love is twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me! I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation? Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place. So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it. And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry, man. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live? That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while we were all questioning him about what had happened, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death. So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How can human life mean so little to you? That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win. Now you sound like Byakuya-man. No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike. Then, what made you take things this far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Murokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here. Obviously that was a lie. Yeah, man. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you wanna know why, huh? Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up my dream forever. And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing. And it was all for that dream. And what was this dream of yours? To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence. Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. That's a stupid dream. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the winds. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I? You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it? Are you asking me to feel guilty? It's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing. That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding. That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared? That's right, I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then, I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette. You just get executed again! Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. Well, good thing we got Celeste's skill, since she's just going to die now. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie, and that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her. You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price. Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment for her. The ultimate gambler. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time. I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. This is... Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then, take care everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again in another life. The ultimate gambler, huh? Let's see what it's all about. What is that? The burning of the Versailles witch. Oh, is she just getting burned to death? That's it? I mean, that's probably extremely painful, but compared to the other ones, not very original. Oh, wait, what? Is she going to get hit by a fire truck on top of that? Good job, Monokuma. It's over. The third execution is over. Hey, is Toko back to normal? Looks like it. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but... I mean, technically she only killed one, so don't say friends. I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young, you need to place more value in your lives. Geez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation. What do you care about? What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here. You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste? So, what's the deal with that? Huh? What's the matter? I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me? What? Answer me. What did you do to my body? Whoa, oh man, oh geez, oh man, oh geez, what do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean? Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course. Hoo hoo hoo, see ya. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you? Most likely. It's the key to one of the dressing room lockers. What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there. I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check. Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said, I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later. Why exactly are you going alone? Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera. That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too. You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya. Then it's up to you now. I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh, so Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means? Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone. Well, shall we? Yeah. We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw... Good morning! Hey, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a while longer. So now we can officially say the case is closed. as far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me? Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried. Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that... It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No. I believe in you. You believe in me. Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand. Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then... Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... Oh, mystery time. What I heard from Kyoko then was... Well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I'd told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for night time to come. And when it did, I went into action. The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera monitor in it. And in the storage closet there, way in the back. She said it was way in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Okay, what is it? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. Is that a secret door that I see? The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? Yeah, it looks like a secret door. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hands on the back of the storage closet. And suddenly, as if I were being yanked in, Gashunk. At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Ba-bump. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door and I'd made my way to the other side, just like Kyoko had said. In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet, and way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room, but what's in here? Well, we'll find that out next time, because it's time to end the episode. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed some more Danganronpa, and as usual, don't miss the next episode, because I won't. I will see you all next time.